Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, William Samoei Ruto has been in Ukambani and specifically in Machakos. And of course, he was opening several projects, including his own political campaign, what he referred to as the interdenomination prayer service. And Ruto finally confirmed to the Ukambani people that he reached out to Kalonzo Musyoka after election so that Kalonzo can join him in government to form government and work together. Some people would think that William Samoei Ruto is lying or he's just trying to play politics. I want to confirm to you that possibilities of William Ruto reaching out to Kalonzo Musyoka after election was inevitable. That is the truth of the matter. Because it is better you go and remember, number one, how Ruto got to power. Number two, the number of elective seats in terms of members of parliament, senators, and governors he was able to get before being declared the president or before starting to form the government. I want us to go deeper into the issue of 2022 general election, the result, and the reason why William Ruto had no option but to look out to Kalonzo Musyoka. But then again, why Kalonzo Musyoka was hesitant to join William Samoei Ruto. And we will also ask a question, was there a possibility that Kalonzo Musyoka attempted to join William Ruto? Before we go deep into that, just a quick request for those who are watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And back to this discussion. This is what Ruto said. Let me just quote. Kalonzo Musyoka is a good guy. We asked you to pray for him so that we can work together. The second one, after I won the elections, I looked for Kalonzo and sat down with him. I told him, my friend, I have won the election. Join me so that we build the government. I discharged my responsibility and he told me he wanted to continue where he was. That is William Samoei Ruto. Now, going by the 2022 election in terms of members of parliament, women rep, senators and governors, including presidential election, there was no way William Samoei Ruto will sit pretty and avoid looking for other people to join his side after Rebuked declared him the winner. Number one, the difference between him and Raila Odinga was very small, according even to those numbers that Azimio does not agree to. Because according to Azimio, Raila Odinga won election, they have their figures. It is just only William Samoei Ruto to come out and allow the server to be open so that they can confirm who won this election. And as much as they were not open, it shows you that Raila won the election. So even going by those numbers from Rebuked, the difference was merely 230,000 votes. So already the legitimacy of William Ruto was still questionable. That is number one. So if Kalonzo would have fallen into William Ruto's trap, then he was going to legitimize his presidency. Why? Because Kalonzo Musyoka would have come with at least 23 members of parliament. Remember, Wiper Party is a parliamentary party because it was able to get 3 governors, it was able to get more than 3 senators, it was able to get more than 21 members of parliament. So it qualified to be a parliamentary party. So Kalonzo had qualified there. That means Kalonzo was going to help William Samoei Ruto to legitimize his presidency. So he will get 21 more members of parliament to add on what he had. He was going to get 3 senators add there. And of course 3 governors. So when Kalonzo refused, what happened? Because Ruto was still looking for the numbers, that is what informed William Samoei Ruto to reach out to the UDM party. Now, if you check on the UDM party, they had 9 members of parliament, they had a senator, they had a governor. And here, you have also to understand what number of members of parliament did Kenya Kwanza got in the election. The reason why Ruto had no any way but to look for someone so that he can form the majority side, which means the government side. So Kenya Kwanza managed to get 159 members of parliament. That means 135 constituency members of parliament and then 24 women rep. Azimio managed to get 162 members of parliament. That means 142, those representing sub-counties, and 20 women rep. The difference between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza was 3 members of parliament. That alone was enough to help Azimio to take over, number 1, the leader of the majority, number 2, the majority whip, number 3, to also elect the Speaker of the National Assembly. When you have these 3 key positions, and of course it will go further into the committee formations, it tells you that Azimio was going to control everything in this government. Even if they are not in power in terms of having the president, still they were going to control. Something that William Samoei Ruto feared. So that is one of the reasons that informed William Ruto to look out for Kalonzo Musyoka. I will tell you, the only way to get to Kalonzo or anyone was just through by going further to buy the political party. So if you see UDM party working with William Ruto, that party and the party leader was paid to join the Kenya Kwanza side. Otherwise, if not, there was no way Wetangula would be the Speaker of the National Assembly. There was no way Kimani Ichung'wah, who is now bragging now, would be the leader of majority. There is no way Silvanus Osoro would be the majority whip in the National Assembly. Those positions would have been occupied by Azimio la Umoja. That is one major reason that made William Samoei Ruto to look for one Kalonzo Musyoka. And you know, Kalonzo would have come with some good number that will help William Samoei Ruto to have what we refer to as something close to supermajority. So that was so major for William Samoei Ruto. Having the majority in National Assembly. Number 2, legitimizing his presidency. If Kalonzo come, that means he's coming with the Ukambani people. And if he's coming with the Ukambani people, it means you are coming with more than 1 million votes. So that alone was enough to legitimize William Ruto's presidency. But then Ruto is telling us that Kalonzo Musyoka said no. In as much Kalonzo said no, we should understand when, where, and how did Kalonzo Musyoka say no. Up to what point? Was there a possibility that Kalonzo Musyoka was going into William Ruto trap? The answer is yes. I will take you back to the activity that happened at the National Assembly and the Senate when they were going to elect the Speaker of the both houses. What happened? Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka took 2 papers, one for the National Assembly, another one for the Senate. He was going to buy as a speaker. But then it looked so awkward for Kalonzo Musyoka. It was bringing down the image of Kalonzo Musyoka in Kenyan politics. People say that Kalonzo is more than a speaker. He's not worth to be just a speaker. He's worth something bigger than a speaker, though we know constitutionally, speaker is the 3rd most powerful person in the formation of government. You have the president, deputy president, the speaker, and we have the CJ. So, going to that, it means Kalonzo was going to lower himself down. But by the fact that he went further to pick the papers, it means there was someone who was convincing Kalonzo so that he can go for that position. Then from there, they can continue to work together. But then this one means that William Samoei Ruto was also going to break the memorandum they had with Musalia, Wetangula, and the other people. Because already, there was no way Ruto was going to make him Wetangula, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, prime CS. That means he was going to betray Mudavadi or the memorandum they had already deposited with the register of political party. because it was clear in the memorandum, Mudavadi will be Prime CS, Wetangula was going to be made the Speaker of the National Assembly. So, kama kuna mtu mwenye alikuwa anataka acheze hapa, alikuwa ni Baba wa Roma. Papa wa Roma ndiye alikuwa achezwe. But again, Kalonzo Musyoka, people reached out to Kalonzo Musyoka, and he was convinced that it was not better for him to go for such a position because it was going to undermine him politically when it comes to dealing with the political matters in this country. So Kalonzo took a U-turn and later he refused. That confirms that these people had a meeting, but then it backfired later. Now you go to the Senate. How many senators did Kenya Kwanza got and Azimio la Umoja? Azimio managed to get 23 senators. Kenya Kwanza managed to get 24 senators. And one was, I think, independent. So already, Kenya Kwanza was ahead of Azimio with 1. That was enough to give them the speaker and to have the majority side. Still, Ruto had to buy people to be on his side because he was not sure if he would really manage to get that majority numbers. So it tells you that the difference here was too small and it was so dangerous for William Samoei Ruto. The only way for him to survive was to go and buy a political party. So yesterday's speech from William Ruto confirms that Kalonzo Musyoka refused to sell Wiper Party or to lend Wiper Party to one William Samoei Ruto. So there is nothing to doubt about this. It was clear. So the only person who came in rescue of William Samoei Ruto, it was the UDM party, which decided to break the law in terms of when you want to move to another political party and you want to, not political, to another coalition, you have to resign 3 months earlier, and then after 3 months, then you go. That means in 6 months' time. Today is the right time they would have been moving to Kenya Kwanza. So look at that. Already, Azimio would have been in power for 6 months before UDA crossed. But they decided to break the law. And that is what happened at the end of the day. So there was no way William Ruto was going to survive. Yes, through Chebukati, Ruto had been made a president, but he lacked the real numbers in both houses. So the only way to survive was to look for someone to help him. So Ruto has finally confirmed that he begged Kalonzo for help. But then, for Kalonzo Musyoka, this was going to be the beginning of his failure in politics. Staying with William Ruto, it was going to send Kalonzo into a political oblivion. Just look what happened to ANC party if you don't believe. From 14 members of parliament, 2 senators, ANC was reduced to 6 members of parliament. So if Kalonzo was going to go into that direction, it means he was going to divide the votes and his numbers. And the next election was going to be a tough story for him. Because of that, the only way to survive and to remain relevant in Kenyan politics, it was just to stay with Raila Odinga. Ask yourself, why is Mwangi wa Iria coming to Raila Odinga? Why is George Wajakoya working with Raila Odinga? Why is Martha Karua sticking with Raila Odinga? Why is everyone want to stay closer to Raila Odinga? They know the reason. For you to remain relevant, then that is the only way to go. And that is one of the reasons that made Kalonzo Musyoka to take a U-turn. I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section for continuation of this conversation. Thank you so much. See you in our next video.